That's okay. One of the you asked about which vents.
Yeah.
I don't know. Winchell. I got in it because of Winchell, and I unfortunately never got to meet him. I did correspond with him, but I can tell you the events that made me laugh the most when I used to come to the early conventions. Bob Jepson was my favorite. He was a magician who was a vent, and he had his vent routine. Do you know him at all?
No.
His vent routines were a little sick because he told me his philosophy was hurt the puppet. And it was hysterical because what he would chloroform a puppet. Instead of having an assistant in his magic act, it would always be the puppet, but they never wanted to be the assistant. So he would chloroform the puppet to knock him out, and then he would tell the audience, I had to do it. You know I had to do it. And then he would stuff the puppet's body in like a wicker basket and stick swords through it and stuff, And then he would have, he had a box where he would put the chloroform puppet in, that he's going to saw him in half, the puppet would come with two, and he'd be, his head sticking out this side, he'd be talking and everything. And at the end of the act, there'd be a head at the other end going, are we done yet? Or something, moving the feet and stuff. It was hysterical. It was really funny. So, and he would always say, well, my lips move and stuff, and I would say, it doesn't matter. It's so funny. He was great entertainer. Made me laugh the most too. And Cecil Carpenter, do you know him?
I've heard of Cecil. Never saw him work.
He was in the open mic, and he was so bad he was good. That kind of thing. When he was so bad he was fun. His lines and the puppet lines would get mixed up. His mouth would be moving when the puppet's talking, it wouldn't when he was supposed to be. It was just nobody ever. Seriously, I don't think anybody ever figured out whether it was an act or it was really that bad. But when he performed, it was standing room only.
I'll be darned.
Yeah, he was super. And a really sad story about that is I was convention chairman, and he died at the convention. So on like a Friday night, I think. And so I called Clinton when somebody came to my room and said Cecil Barton passed away. I called Clinton. Clinton came to my room. It was like 2 a.m. or something, and I said, I don't know what to do. The convention's going to fall apart. He died, and he was very popular. And the next day, we always had a breakfast banquet at that time, and we gave out awards and stuff. It was supposed to upbeat and everything. And I said, I have no clue how we're going to handle this. And Clinton said, okay. He called a pastor friend of his that was there, brought him in. They said, okay, and we sort of mapped out the day. And so the first announcements we had to make in the morning was that he passed away, and everybody was just shocked. But he wasn't a wealthy person at all, so we took up a collection. We collected a lot of money, and had a pastor say a few words, and then we just said, we have to go on with this. It's what Cecil would have done, so we did, and actually it went out, as well as can be expected. So.